Here it is. It's Monday. It's Matinee Madness. I'm Mike Montgomery. I hope you're well. I am just hunky-dory, thank you. What's going on? You wouldn't believe it if I told you, but I will tell you. Actually, it's color day. What does your color say about you? The color of your clothes, your dress, whatever, you know? I don't know. Some guy sponsored this. We're going to talk about that later. The food today is nuts. Any kind you want. How about that? That's all right. It's also the birth anniversary of Timothy Leary. Tune in, turn on, drop out. Anyway, all sorts of things to talk about. What we're going to talk about later this very hour, Margot Huber from Marquette Catholic High School is back. We'll talk about the mega raffle. Yes, you can still get in on that. And in the 4 o'clock hour, would you like to be a foster grandparent? We'll tell you how to do that. Yep, Debbie Edelman from Head Start is in, along with Colleen Caskell from Senior Services Plus. But in the spirit of Halloween, we're going to start off the show with a couple of, well, I guess I should say three, a trio of paranormal investigators. Yes, Bobbi Brooks is back. She brought the whole crew, and we'll tell you all about what she's been up to and how you can check it out on YouTube. Don't go away. Well, I was thinking about playing the Munsters, and I thought that was kind of hokey. I guess I could have looked up Ghostbusters. Well, kind of some spooky music to begin, because we're going to talk about paranormal investigations. Bobbi Brooks is here. Bobbi has been doing, how long have you been doing this?
About a year and a half, well, longer.
And it was, let's see, it was about a year ago you were on this program.
Right.
Because she was selling a calendar, which is a really cool calendar. I've got it at home. I use mine. Anyway, haunted places in the area. Bobbi got it. Can I tell the story of how you got into the calendar?
Sure.
Her dad gave her a camera for Christmas, and she just got carried away. I think that was pretty cool.
Absolutely.
So did somebody give you a video camera recently, and now you run around to haunted houses?
No, actually what happened was while I was promoting and plugging the calendar, I met Missy Dar at Mineral Springs. And
Missy's here too.
Missy's
She's on the
here
silent
too.
type.
Hi. There's Missy. And we were hunting, we were with a group, and we were hunting, and she, had this idea of doing a web show. So I was like, oh, I want to do it. Please, I like begged her, please let me be your host. I live in a reality show at my house. I talk to myself all the time, whatever. And so we did it through Riverbender for 10 episodes, and it was called Voices from Beyond. It was more of a live show where we go into these locations and we interview the people. And then when the feed goes down, we hunt for a little bit. And then at the end of the month, we'd come back with a reveal show. It was just unpolished, being live.
We all start somewhere.
Right. You have to be live, and it just wasn't a good fit for what we do. So we stopped that. We did 10 episodes through them. And then we let it go for a little bit.
Are those still posted on Riverbender?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Under their paranormal tab. They're still there. And then about, me and Missy are best friends, and we've been talking about it on and off, how we wanted to do something a little bit more polished. And, one day we're like, let's just do it through YouTube. Let's just start doing it again. So I started making phone calls, and we started getting locations, and she is an editing goddess.
That's because she went to SIUE?
Right.
Yes, I did.
Yes, Mass Communications Department.
But anybody that can make me look good like she does on these episodes deserves all the credit in the world.
Believe me, sometimes it's hard to make her look good because she flubs, and I gotta cut and then try to mask it.
I flub a lot.
Don't say that. Don't say that. You're doing fine now.
Oh, we do. We have a blooper reel on our Facebook page, and we have bloopers all the time and extra footage. So you can go to our Facebook page, and if you were already on it from Voices from Beyond, we flipped it over to the new title, which is Haunted History of the Paranormal.
Haunted History of the Paranormal on Facebook.
We're on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. We got a website, which is www.hauntedhistoryoftheparanormal.webs.com.
Webs.com.
And
if you want to find it on Facebook, it's Voices From is our name on there.
Okay, easy enough.
And you can always Google Haunted History of the Paranormal Facebook, and it's one of the first things that comes up.
And a YouTube channel?
The YouTube channel is Haunted History Para, all one word.
You can find that on Google too. I had a friend who just went on Google and found the episode, and it took her right to YouTube.
Nice.
I thought that was awesome.
Nice. How many hits have you had totally? Any idea?
Over 300.
Okay.
Over 300. We have, what is it, 3 episodes up, a couple teasers for the episodes.
Yeah, in fact, I saw the one across the river, Chateau de Manille, or however it's pronounced. My French is not...
Chateau de Manille.
Oh yeah, she had lessons on that. Trust
Well,
me.
I know that's part of the video. That was pretty good.
It's
How do I pronounce this?
right.
Yes.
Yeah, the blooper reel is pretty much all from there because I couldn't say it. I was like, how do you say it? How do you say it? How do you say it? But yeah, it's really neat. We got some great locations coming up. The Lincoln Theater in Decatur,
Ooh.
which I'm extremely excited about that because I'm looking forward to it because there's a lot of claims to the place and they haven't had like the big time shows in there to do that.
Very
so
good.
We're lucky to get that one.
Let me ask you, how did you come across the Lincoln Theater in Decatur, and what sort of criteria do you use?
I do a lot of research. I type in because we want to stay local because we are no budget. We do this all in our free time. It's hobby. Hopefully someday,
You'll be discovered.
maybe. Who
Somebody's
knows?
gonna say, that gal looks like she flubs a lot, but I never see it in the video. It must have a heck of an editor.
Right, right. But we do a lot of research. Matt Pace, he's our tech guy, and he helps with the research as well. Between the two of us, we're on the computers looking for locations that are local, that have a good history. Our main focus is the history. You can watch 50 different paranormal shows, and it's them hunting for 45 minutes.
And forgive me, but when you watch a number of them, they're all sort of the same.
Right.
You got the strange lights going on, and I heard something, and this, that, and the other.
Where the whole thing is, did you see that?
Yeah.
Where the camera's pointing at the people, not at anything else. And I understand why they do that, because the show is a reality-based show focused around them. But it just seems like, I want to see what you just saw.
Yeah.
So we focus more on the history. That's what sets us a little bit apart. We focus more on the history. About 15 minutes interview with a historian or somebody who owns the location and is there at the location.
And I would think each place is unique to begin with, so that's got to be more interesting than just, lights in the dark.
Right, right. It's just, more of a history base. And if we catch something, that's just the icing on the cake. Because no matter where you go, any haunted location, you can't just go in and say, up here.
Yeah, right.
You
Yes.
know, things-
I'm here now, and
right.
the camera's rolling, come on.
Right. Some things happen and sometimes they don't. And we're not out to fake anything. Not saying that any of those shows necessarily do.
Right.
But to get ratings, it's kind of funny how in the beginning of some of these shows they'd go into locations and not find anything. Now every episode they find something.
Yeah. Well, you got to keep the ratings up.
Right.
We're
So-
all about promoting these locations, and one thing that we do is, like she said, we don't ever fake anything. And if we don't have any evidence from the show, we won't say it's not haunted. We leave it up to the viewers. We won't ever go on there and say your place is not haunted.
Yeah,
Don't go
it's
here.
not like you're there to certify anything.
Right.
You're there to get some history and let people know about it. I'm sure the places appreciate that too.
Right, it's more, a lot of the places that I focus for are buildings, historical buildings that are on a volunteer basis, volunteer and donation basis. And they need the publicity.
Yes.
Because I want to be able to take my kids to these places because of the history. Because you look across the street, there's buildings that should have been
Yeah. Better
restored.
taken care of, and yes.
And they're not. And that's what I want with these places. I want these places to be there for when my kids have kids. Because the history is so important.
I think that's great, really. And Matt, how did you get into this?
I was,
Standing on a corner one day.
by the way, I'm the hydration expert of this team. I like to keep the water and soda full for the ladies.
Oh, good man.
That's my main.
Is that? I don't know. I saw you carrying in the heavy gear here.
Yeah, that's what
He's
I know.
the muscle.
That's what yeah.
He's our technical director, so
Yeah.
he's in charge of the lighting, and he helps me carry gear and,
And
set up.
I set up tripods and screwing lights and stuff, so I'm pretty important.
Well,
We're all with Riverbend Paranormal as well. That's how
That's
how we
we-
met Matt.
oh, okay.
Yeah, actually, it was at the Mineral Springs. We had an event there, and they came to film us for the show, we were going to be on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were on Voices from Beyond. You can
Episode
check out that
2.
episode.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we met
The
them.
highest rated one on there.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Well,
so I expressed some interest in it once, we did it and I saw how it was. I was like really, it's kind of my thing. So, I was like, I want to do it.
so as a member of Riverbed Paranormal, you've got a little experience investigating that,
Yeah,
too.
I'm co-founder of the group. Yeah,
Oh,
me
okay.
Me and Brian Murray.
Okay.
He's
Brian
the
Murray.
Co-founder,
Woo!
yep. That was a plug right there for him. He'll like that if he's listening. But
If
Yeah.
not, you can send the MP3 later to make them
exactly.
listen. Right?
Yeah. I got a lot of years in it. About 12.
Oh,
years.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. And Janet Kohler, who operates Mineral Springs, she's just a dear friend of mine. She's a great gal.
Yeah, we love Janet. We had
Yeah,
Janet on the
Janet.
old show. We did a show all on the Museum of Torture.
Uh-huh.
And then we did a Mineral Springs episode too, which she's one of the most supportive people I've ever met in this
Mhm.
industry.
She's always happy to help us out.
Yeah, the paranormal
Yeah.
industry, it can be pretty shady. I mean,
And cutthroat, too.
right, exactly.
Yes.
And we're all about, we want to promote these groups. We want to promote, because we're all looking for the same thing.
Yeah, and the idea is to let people know about
Right.
what's going on.
Right.
I especially love your history angle, though, Bobby. I think that's super.
Right,
Really.
that's what I like about it. I mean, it's we're bringing something to the table that the other shows really don't.
Great. Final question. What's next for you? Going up to Decatur? Is that the next scheduled hunt
I
you're going to go
believe
on?
That's
So-
on. What is that? The
Mhm.
4th?
And then we got Glen Carbon. We're doing Glen
That's the
Carbon.
11th.
We're doing the Hickok House in Springfield later on.
So
next
you've
month.
got several more set up.
Yes, we have the whole season set up.
Mhm.
Very good.
And
So
the season finale is supposed to be an epic location, which I'm not going to say right now.
You're
Okay.
just
So-
gonna have to tune in. I also want to mention we have a
Please.
Twitter. We have a Twitter
Okay.
thing. What
Yeah,
is
I'm
it?
on Twitter. It's the @BobbiRee, BOBBIRE.
Okay.
And
The fans on there are awesome.
yeah, they
Really?
are. We have fans from Spain on there that are watching the episodes.
Far out. And don't forget, just go to your favorite search engine. You can put in Goop Voices from
Voice. It's actually Haunted History of the Paranormal.
Haunted History of the Paranormal. Paranormal. Okay. Super. Guys, listen, thanks so much.
No problem. Thanks for having
Good
us.
hunting.
Happy hunting.